Come into the room, 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 please. Thank you for being here. My name is DanieSteel. This is DanieSteel, home of the purple print. Welcome. Okay, so let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. Protect Black women. Hashtag protect Black women. You know, we see a lot goings on right now with the case with Meg Thee Stallion, the Tory Lanez, and we can see on a sort of a grander scale, right, how Black women are not protected, right? And I heard so many different Black women content creators, Black Black women viewers. Of course, you expect it from these dusties, right? But it's their handmaidens, it's their pick-me's and pick-mishas and dustianas and the vintage pick-me's, you know. And I'm even, you know, we shout out Gen Z all the time, right? Like, oh, Gen Z, they get it. Not everybody in Gen Z gets it either. Okay. And I think that's why it's so important to share information with these younger the women that don't understand everything that vintage pick-mishas understand. They understand and they gave up, right? And that's why I don't bother or waste the time of day on a vintage pick-misha, because they know the deal, and they chose to just give up, right? They chose to just allow the dysfunction. They choose to not break generational curses and cycles. This is a choice. They choose to perpetuate violence onto younger women that was perpetuated onto them, right? Hi, Pink Pineapple. Hi, Black Widow Row. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate you. But you know, again, I have seen, and oftentimes I think it's in the name of Black empowerment. Look, I've been there. Okay. I've told y'all before, I'm not a former mammy, quotation marks, right? There's this idea on social media that every Black woman that's talking about Black women empowerment was a former mammy and then she learned. No, right? Sorry, I was had something on. Okay, anyways, piece of hairs. Okay, so I was like, sound like Daffy Duck over here. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? I've told y'all, I'm not, that was never my deal. All right, I never mammied, never. Okay, I was never Black male identified. I was a mule. We forget the mules. Don't forget about us. Okay? We forget the mules. Okay, what's up, Tina? Good to see you. Huh? Okay. Not sure what you're talking about, but you know what I'm saying? Don't forget about the mules. I was a mule. All right? Any and everything, doing any and everything, right? For the sake of that community. Okay? And then one day you wake up. You've been doing everything for the sake of the family, sake of the fam, sake of the community, your whole motherfucking life. That's your entire personality. I mean, it was my entire personality. It didn't matter what happened for me. You know, I remember when I went to undergrad and people would see a picture of me with my lighter skinned family member, women family members, and they would say, "You're the prettiest one." And I was blown away. And I swear to I literally, I did not believe it. I was like, I guess this is, you know, a lie, right? Just didn't believe it. Refused to give up my role as a mule. So that means as the mule, I was the sacrifice. I was the the black sheep. I was the family truth teller. I was the family scapegoat. I was the sacrifice. And can I get an amen? There is joy in the room. Can I get an amen? Okay? Don't forget about the mules. And I see a lot of women that are trying to be like, yeah, black women power, but they still want to be a mule, right? They still think that they can be a mule and that will make them loved by the community. When the reality is, I'm going to be real raw with y'all right now. I don't know a single brown, dark-skinned black woman that is adored by black people. If you know, besides Aaliyah, and again, she's not brown, dark-skinned, right? Aaliyah is light to brown skin. But she's not, and they'll even say, you'll hear these guys talking about Aaliyah, rest in peace, baby girl. You'll hear these dusties talking about Aaliyah, and they'll say, y'all don't look like Aaliyah. Y'all not Aaliyah, right? Not Shaw, Aaliyah, right? We love Aaliyah. We miss Aaliyah. We would protect women that look like Aaliyah, right? Not you women. So again, if you're in the chat, and if you're here, please thumbs up the video and subscribe. And you know of a brown to dark-skinned black woman, all right? I'm talking melanated, all right? Not just a little warm. Black woman that is celebrated by all black people. I'd love to hear about her. We got Harriet Tubman. Black folk don't celebrate Harriet Tubman the way they should. It's not that these women don't exist and shouldn't be loved and adored and celebrated, but they're not. And again, if you know of one, please let me know. I can't wait. I can't wait to know. Black Widow Rose says, that's right. We forget about the mules. Don't forget about mules. Don't forget about the mules. Okay, because they think they're doing the good thing. I know you mules. I'm okay. I used to be one of you. If I'm too loud, turn down your volume because I'm going to be loud like this. Okay. I don't know how to turn down my mic volume yet, so apologies. All right. But I want you to hear me. You're listening, but do you hear me? Amen. So I've seen some younger millennial, older Gen Z gals out there who believe they can find out, they can do it right. These other black women, they just weren't doing it right. And I can see them working and grinding, believing that they can do it right. And I'm here to tell you, sis, there's nothing you can do. I'm so sorry. There's nothing. I already tried it. You talking to the queen of, hey, maybe I can break it. I can do it different. See, the day you understand you can't change these folks' minds, that there's nothing you can do as a black woman to be loved and adored in the black community, there's nothing you can do to be loved and protected. I don't see it in the pick-me verse, right? The pygmecia sphere, they're not protected. There's always another guy in the Manny sphere and in the Dusty sphere who will make a video about them. So they're constantly, and I don't get the cognitive dissonance it takes to continue to be in the pygmecia sphere, making videos, putting these guys on a pedestal when every month one of them is making a video about how you ain't shit. I don't get it. And as I've told you guys before, pygmecia sphere needs black women who aren't doing what they're doing, because if all black women were talking about black love, which is what most black women were talking about on here for many years, what happened? These dusties dragged them. You can't come on here and talk about black love as a black woman unless there's other black women talking about something else, right? Then now the guys want you on board. Now they need you. We see it time and time again. These guys only like you if you're on code, their code, their code. And to them, the code is Black empowerment is Black male empowerment. And the protection of women and children has nothing to do with it. This is what behavior shows. This is what statistics shows. This is what the data shows, okay? This isn't even an opinion. So that's not even my opinion yet. We're just going by the data. So, you know, you'll see these women thinking they can do it different, thinking they're going to do something different. And it's just, it never happens. It never happens. Inevitably, what happens is they turn 32, 33, 34, 35, and they realize it's not gonna happen. And then they slowly slink away and or rebrand themselves completely as having been Black women empowerment all the time. You know, I noticed Chantel, right? Chantel's one of the women that, you know, they have accepted and embraced in the Black manosphere. And I believe she's in her early 30s. I find it very interesting that she hasn't married the plethora of men, right, that are rooting for her to keep telling Black women that they're fat and they're not doing nothing right. Right? And she's like, oh, I'm trying to bring Black women and men in the community together, right? And it's like, you have to hold both parties accountable. But how can you do that if you know that the only way they'll allow you around them is to coddle and or be their sacrifice? I wouldn't be surprised if in 3 or 4 years you see Chantel rebrand. She was on here doing fitness before that, right? So it's not a total rebrand because she's doing fitness. She believes in fitness. I believe in fitness and health, you know? Unlike Chantel, I didn't have the privileges that she had growing up in the suburbs, having parents with money. I grew up in foster care. She doesn't understand what it's like to be a Black woman who grew up being abused and having to deal with that life path, right? She knows what she knows, and now everything is about, you know, hey, this is what I know, so every Black woman should be on it, right? Because she grew up with a certain level of protection. And I think in her mind, and other women like her, in their mind, they believe that these guys will have loyalty, will give them reciprocity and loyalty. And I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen. Black women don't say to Black men, if you do this, and I'm telling you how it goes in reality. I'm not telling you what y'all talk about online. I'm talking about in reality. In reality, we see it. It doesn't matter what crimes the guy has committed. Something happens to him. Black people get on code, and that includes Black women who will get on the front lines for a black male, right? And that will never be something that you will receive with reciprocity. Sandra Bland, Corinne Gaines, these were women that were fighting for Black men. So many women. Oluya Toyin. So many women were out there fighting for Black men. And when something happened to these women, you know, you never see anything like it in other communities. You know, I've talked to you guys before about Asian women, particularly being assaulted in New York. And New York is a tough place. A lot of people get assaulted there, you know, but you're going to see unison when it comes to protecting Asian women online and in the media. And that is why they were made a protective class, and that is why it is a hate crime. Look, I was getting my nails done. I swear to God, y'all seen I haven't got my nails done in a while, right? I was getting my nails done, and this woman said she was putting the cuticle drill on. She was putting the drill under my cuticle, and I was like, I don't know why you're doing it. I don't know why you're doing it, right? So I just said, please don't do that. I said it just like that. I said, please don't do that. It's painful. Please don't do that. She was like, oh, you're scaring me. You're scaring me. That's what she started saying in the shop. No cap. No cap. Yo, no cap. I'll be damned. So it's bare nails until I have one other shop that I go to where they're very professional. And that's, that'll be it. And if I can't reach them, then it's not going to happen. So I'm not saying that happens everywhere, but especially, since they've become a protected class, I noticed a lot more when you get your nails done. And I encourage all Black women, stop getting your nails done by these people who think that they're better than you, who absolutely hate you, who absolutely, will talk about you in a different language and just don't want you around, just want you for your money. I mean, honestly, it's like you just want people's money, right? I don't need you to like me beyond that, but give professionalism, She started shouting, you're scaring me, because she understood, right? They're gaining power similar and akin to the power that white women have when it comes to how they're treated in society, right? So, and I ended up paying her like literally, it was a takeoff nail appointment to take off the acrylic nails that I had on. I gave her like $50 for that. It was insane. Like, she overcharged me. And then because, they'll stereotype us about not leaving a tip, I leave a big tip. Because like I told her, the money's not a problem. She was like, well, you didn't ask for this or you didn't ask for that. I was like, the money's not a problem. I need you to do the job that I've requested. And I'm speaking very calm because I understand the world that I live in. So I don't know what you're talking. I said, you're scaring me. You have a drill that you are putting under my cuticle line, which is physically hurting and assaulting me. So we're both scared. If you're scared, we're both scared. Okay? Absolutely crazy. So Black women don't have any of that type of protection, right? You see video after video after video of Black women going into spaces, no protection whatsoever. No protection at all. I've never seen a video of a cop slinging around the body of a 14-year-old white girl or non-melanated girl. But how many videos do you see of them doing that to Black teenage girls? In a bikini, coming back from school because they were riding their bikes. Maybe y'all don't watch that because you're trying to live in La La Land. But so the protection is lacking. But there are men out there that want to protect us. I say we focus on those guys. The way Dusty Sphere is so intent on focusing on the women that they want things from, right? I say you start changing your preferences, ladies. Start preferring, instead of get that swag out of your vocabulary and start preferring men that want to protect you. Okay? Sun Goddess Ari, what's up? Good to see you. Amen. Black Widow Rose says, me either, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay? Think about it. You don't know a dark-skinned Black woman that's celebrated by Black people. You don't. Okay? It's terrible. Oh, this Rob says, well, y'all are definitely adored in my world. Well, we're going to get to that, Rob. OKC. Okay? See, okay. Right? We're going to get to that. There are men who in their world, they care about protecting Black women. They exist. And that's being hidden from you as a Black woman. Because why would they show you that? You're such good mules. You're such a great sacrifice. It makes no sense to tell you, you can just move 2 spaces over to the left and have a completely different experience. Wow. Light brown skin doesn't get the criticism. Megan, good too, but they aren't usually appreciated except for exactly. Hi, RA, good to see you. Also, God said I went on a date with a white guy. Congratulations. I hope it was a great date. I hope that you stayed safe and you had a good time, Sun Goddess Ari. Black Rose says, their code, black male empowerment and uplifting the black men, even in their degeneracy and perpetual failure. Absolutely. Their code is, if you, as a woman, cater and coddle to them, then they'll allow you in their space. This isn't what they expect from non-black women at all. Most of the non-black women that they date are racist. Okay, so that's just a reality. Most of the non-black women that they date are racist. They don't vet these women. They don't care if the woman's family is racist. They don't do any of that work. They don't have conversations about race with these women. Okay, so most of the women that black men in interracial relationships date are racist. They're anti-black. And they're using the black guy to get back at their parents. The elusive myth of the BBC. Maybe she's looking for protection. Maybe she's broke. She's in her 20s and she's in her broke years, right? Some women get a pit bull, right? If you are in New York, there's a lot of non-black women walking around New York City with pit bulls, period. And they'll be like, they're good dogs. Okay, that's great. If you say so. Okay, I love dogs, but I'm not gonna have nothing with muscles like that in my home. Okay, nothing with muscles like I don't have miniature horses in my home. I'm not about to have that big old animal in my home. I think it's irresponsible. I know black folk that have pit bulls around children. I think that's irresponsible. The child can't control whether or not they set this dog off. Even my dog will get jumpy and her nails kind of hurt, right? She's the tiniest, cutest dog ever, Cersei. But the point is, you gotta watch what you have around your kids. Anyways, so sometimes they get a pit bull, sometimes they date a dusty. I don't care what none of y'all say. That's what they do. To get back at their family, to get back at, right? To be like, I'm edgy. Sometimes they do it for a personality. Okay, but they don't do it on some, let's make the world a better place. They don't do it on some, I really like black people. And, you look at Kylie Jenner when she's out with her girlfriends. Hey, after she got rid of that biracial girl, she was done. She don't got no black girlfriends. They, if you wasn't a black girlfriend of theirs from the jump, like those twins and Lala Anthony, who was an Afro-Latina, okay, those are about the only 3 black girls they allow around them. That's it. Because they know their place. If you look at pictures of them, you'll observe these women walk behind them as they walk through the paparazzi, right? The women walk behind them. I wouldn't be walking behind you. Aha! I'll be front and center. So, they're not gonna let me be part of the squad. But anyways, these are not people that like black people, that even particularly like black culture. Hey, Yeezy called out Kim Kardashian West for using black people. I didn't do it. Her own soon-to-be ex-husband is doing it. But when you have the men that black women date and marry interracially, and I guess if you haven't been around these men, you wouldn't know this, right? Because of the years that I've spent advocating for black women to open their options, I've had a lot of non-black men tell me, plus my own personal experience, tell me, I love black women. I want to protect black women. You guys have such hard lives. It's not fair. And, we got to keep you safe. So they're out there. That's why Dr. Umar can steal a whole bunch of money for a school he never built to fund his bogus education. Now he has never been checked for his crime. Exactly. Over $1 million, 1.5 mil, 1.5 mil. Nothing to show for it but an abandoned building. Still ain't got the HVAC worked out. Like, you know how much more millions it would take to make that a school? And then you couldn't leave someone with his mental capacity or lack thereof in charge of children, even if it were built. You'd have to find somebody to be in charge of the children, right? So it's so much work. And these were poor Black people. Shout out to Lenore Honor, who exposes a lot of this on his channel, and who I've shouted out before in the past. And he is a Black man. For all the Dusties listening, being like, oh, she said Dusty, and shut the fuck up. Anyways, you're not listening. It's not my fault that your pronoun is Dusty. You're not listening. Good men or Dusties. If you choose Dusty, whose fault is that? So anyways, Lenore Honor, a Black man, Lennon Honor, that's his name of his channel. His nickname is Lenore. He exposed a lot of that. So a shout out to him for his work in doing that. Chantel is Jamaican too. She will never find a Black man. Oh my God. Yo. Here's what I think about that situation with Chantel, and why after years now of her being like, Black men, she's not married to one. I mean, all of that work, you should be married to one by now. You put out the you put out the signal. You put out the mating call. I don't know a mating call that goes harder than the content that she makes. So you should be married to one of them by now. Here's why I think she won't be married to them. Because she grew up in the suburbs and she wants a specific lifestyle. She wants a specific man and she wants a specific life. And I think it's interesting, and her parents are going to hold her to that standard. I know shout out to my Jamaican American friends. Okay? Shout out to my Jamaican American friends. I know a lot of Jamaican Americans who their parents are strict about who their daughters are with. They have standards, and she wants to fulfill those standards. And I think it's interesting that she's met so many of these guys and come into contact with them. She can say, I didn't meet them in real life, but okay, so you're working with them, you're collaborating with them. At some point, one of these guys that you are telling other women, you better choose one of these guys. Why haven't you chosen one of those guys? I want to know, okay? No, it's interesting. And again, these are all comments that I'm making because these are based on the content that she creates. This is nothing to do with nothing personal. This is all based on the content that she has put out there, okay? So yeah. Okay. And the reason I know about her channel is the reason I know about a few Pygmecia Sphere channels. And that's because I saw a Black woman coming into the space and I was rooting for you. We're all rooting for you, right? I was rooting for you. And then it was like, oh, this how we do it? This is how we do it. Hey. Okay, so this is how we doing it? God damn. I think it's heartbreaking that a Black woman, you're a Black woman, you come online, and it's a roll of the dice as to whether or not someone in your own image supports your empowerment. That's crazy to me. No other group of women has to deal with that. Absolutely crazy. Fioro says, sorry, but I'm over the word deserve and over asking or expecting anything from men besides what they offer, and that's you know what. I absolutely agree. It was a, it was one of the questions that I ask on the polls that I have for the live. They're meant to elicit a response, right? So I absolutely agree with you, Fiero. I'm over I don't. And see, that's the thing, right? They're like, you're asking us to protect you. I'm having a conversation about who protects Black women and that there are men out there who believe in protecting Black women. Nobody's asking a Dusty for shit. Pay attention, right? I'm not talking about you, the Euro, right? I'm talking about the Dusties that'll come through. You asking me for protection. You don't have anything to give to protect. Okay, so let's start there. You can't protect yourself. Let's start there. They don't want to listen. They just want to think that every time a Black woman is having this conversation, it's her asking for, please take a look at how I word things. Listen to how I speak. I ain't asking, and I'll never beg. Never. I've never begged. Okay? Period. I'll go without. That's fine. I'm queener. I can go without. I can do bad by myself. Okay? I want to know what I can do for me. Okay. All right. Absolutely. Let's see. Some guys already says men are supposed to give women what they deserve. Women are the ones that create men. We give birth to men and other women. Period. Sun goddess Ari. Asian women are protected class because their men protect them. Period. Asian people are beyond. Okay. Never mind. Oh God. Okay. You know we keep it PG over here. Okay. So that's exactly it, right? Asian women are protected because their men protect them. And what Black women will find is a bunch of Black people, including the men, will be in a space saying, oh yeah, y'all should be a protected class. Oh yeah, we see how Asian people are protected, but Black women aren't protected. The men have to lay that foundation for the collective of their women to be protected. Okay? Now, for Black women that divest and or are in interracial relationships with non-Black men, they have protection. And Black women that are in relationships with Black men, because you have to be having sex with them. In terms of family, I have not experienced, I know Black women whose fathers were present that had that family dynamic, they feel Black men protected them. I think that's great. I have to acknowledge that because I know so many Black women who, you know, I went to PWIs my entire life. So most of the Black women that I went to school with had fathers that protected them. I will always acknowledge that. Okay, but that's not the majority experience of Black women. And I have to say from my experience, having Black men in the family does not equate to protection. It doesn't, because they're on code that non-Black women are what they want. All right, a yellow bone is what he want. They're on code with that. A yellow bone and a white bone is what he want, and that's part of their code. Part of their code is throwing Black women under the bus while they're in school to get attention. That's part of their code. You'll notice they hang out with each other. You'll see other ethnic groups hanging out, the men and women hanging out with each other. The clubs, building. What do you notice from Black folk? The men will hang out by themselves. They only bring the women around to try to get clout, try to make other women jealous, try to attract other women to them. That's it. On some, what a man, right? Because see, if y'all hadn't made that song, then these women wouldn't have been saying, what kind of man? Because other women don't have to make songs like that for their men to like them. So they thought there was something special and amazing about your men. Y'all set that up, right? And I'll say y'all because I didn't make the song. Okay, period. But you know what I'm saying? Black women set that up with their Black male worshiping culture, with participating in the community dysfunctional culture of coddling and agreeing with everything these guys say and or being their sacrifice, being their lapdog, right? I've seen how they will use Black women, they will weaponize Black women against a woman or man that's saying something that they don't want to hear, right? You hear it all the time in Twitter spaces. A Black guy will be saying something, and then a non-Black person will come up and say and dispute it, And then here comes the black woman. Oh, what? Because I'm going to defend mine. I'm going to go for mine. You know, and then it's like, you will never get that energy back. But you will never get that energy back. That's a lot of energy, ladies. If I'm going to hard for mine, hey, hitting your chest, and that's a lot of energy to give someone for free. For free. Another one. That's a lot of energy to give for free. Couldn't be me though. Okay, so let me get into the video that I wanted to get into. Oh God, Percy's here. Danie, I want a black bone. I'm done. What's up, Percy? Thank you for the super chat. Oh God. Thank you for the super chat, Percy. I appreciate it. He said, I want a black bone. Lord. I see Call Me Coco in the chat. Shout out to Call Me Coco. Thank you for being here. We're right here, ladies. You ladies are my queen. Exactly. There are men out there that love black women. Percy says he's a guy that loves black women. So if you want to be in one of the most important clubs in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are men out there. Unfortunately, you don't hear it on a collective level, which is what would be required, right? Which is what would be required, especially for the femininity that they fight so hard about, right? Rob OKC says, I love your confidence, emotional strengths. You ladies, I know, are spiritually gifted. In my eyes, love has no color. You all have a variety of beautiful feminine energies that's very attractive. You see, look at that. Look at that, right? And see, the thing is, black women have a hard time hearing compliments and accepting compliments. Immediately, you will get these dustianas that will come and say, oh, that's a fetish. That's a fetish. Because they've never been loved. I'm sorry, but that's just the damn truth. If you hear a white man talk about protecting white women, he will talk about, I love my women. I love the way that they look. You'll hear Asian men talk about protecting their women. You hear Hispanic men talk about protecting their women. This is how men speak about loving women. They have to love you to want to protect you. And there are men out there that love black women. And if you're a black guy that loves black women, welcome. Great. Get your brothers on board. That's supposed to be a collective thing with y'all. And we're not seeing that. Kendall was friends with Justine Skye before she stole her man. One of them stole Justine Skye's man, and they're no longer friends. Or are they still friends? They're still hanging out. Because Justine Skye, I guess, they do anything for clout, okay? Black River Rose says, black men will marry a racist white woman or non-black woman and have to talk about racism after they have locked her down. The family actually doesn't even like him and won't accept him. It's embarrassing. Exactly. They'll have 5 biracial children with 4C hair, with 4B, 4C hair, before they sit down and tell this woman, we need to talk about race. You're too late. Okay, you're too late at that point, bruh. And that's exactly what they do. Hello, Danie and Steelies. Happy Monday, boo. Hey, Homie Coco's good to see you. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Right. Thanks, Rob. Oh, right, exactly. If a guy, if a man wants to protect black women, thank you. We certainly deserve it. And we move along and we accept it. You have to accept the help that you get, because black women don't often get help, right? And black women have a hard time accepting help. Black women have a hard time accepting compliments. Again, you're gonna have dustianas that will hear. I'm gonna play Joe's video from the live that he did the morning after I interviewed him here on the DanieSteel show. Okay, so Joe, Cup of Joe 20 was a guest here, and I'm going to share with you guys his video. He's given me permission to share this video. So shout out to Joe for that. Really appreciate it, because he's got a word here, okay? He's got a word here. And I think that y'all need to hear this word, okay? And let me be very clear, okay? He's got a word here. Let me be very clear. I'm not putting anyone on a pedestal. I never have, never will. I'm someone that people literally, you can never play me with that. You can never pretend that I've ever been on that, okay? You just cannot. I'm someone that, when I was in college, people thought that I was asexual because they never saw me fawning over, chasing after the way girls do. I didn't do it when I was drunk. I didn't do it when I was sober. I didn't do it at a party. I didn't do it in class. I didn't do it in the hallway. I don't chase men. And because they couldn't find where I was chasing somebody or talking about like, I don't tell people I like them, nothing. Nothing. Okay? Now, I can be very complimentary to people. I compliment women more than I compliment men. Let's get that clear. But you will never find me chasing, begging, nothing. I don't do it. With that being said, let's take a listen to Joe's video. And yeah, I want y'all to hear this because it's a good word.
What men should be doing when they're in a relationship. Another video on protecting black women. Another video, I got a Joe News video coming up. And during that Joe newscast, we're going to be putting some black women on the newscast that are missing right now. So we're putting their picture up on the news and sharing their information, because these women, these black women are disappearing at an alarming rate. Something's going on in this country, and I don't feel like people are doing enough about it to find these women. It's kind of like it's just getting pushed under the rug, you know? You're not seeing it on the news. I mean, I don't see people, you know, searching for people. So I just want to bring, you know, some of the people to the attention of the public. And like, hey, these women matter, you know, and that's the main thing. Black women matter. I don't think you hear that enough. I don't think I've ever heard somebody say that. So I'm going to say it. I want the whole world to know black women matter. We've got to protect black women. All you men listening to me right now, you've got to protect your woman. And even if she's not your woman, protect her. If you see a black woman being done wrong in public, you need to stand up. You need to stand up and protect her. And well, really any woman, you know? It's not just black women, so don't get me wrong, it's not just black women that we should be protecting. Men should protect all women, but the women who are under attack the most, who are being raped and murdered and kidnapped and abused the most, are black women. And there's not enough men that are willing to stand up and do something about it. You see a man at a Waffle House or something beating up on a black woman, you want to get your phone out and film it and laugh. No, be a real man. Go over there and beat that other boy's ass, because he's not a man. I'm not going to call him one because he's not. Go beat his ass and throw his ass out of the damn Waffle House and call the cops. Resolve the situation. Be the man that God created you to be. We as men are protectors. We're supposed to protect women, and we're not doing our damn jobs. It starts with you. One man at a time. We can change the world. But I'll close with that. Yes.
Okay, so period. Okay? Period. This is what I expected to hear from black male content creators when I logged on to YouTube many moons ago. I never expected the vitriol, the hatred. And that's mostly all that you get. They don't talk like this, right? And I know, and again, there are some men that want to protect Black women. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. But I think it's very interesting that we see more vocal. I've never heard a Black man talk like this, guys. I'm sorry, but I haven't. If this is a Black guy, you know what? That's not true. I've heard a few talk like this, but they're on the spiritual side of things, right? They're like spiritual guys, right? I wouldn't call them hoteps, but maybe some of you guys might. But you know what I'm saying? But literally one or two, right? And here you have all of these guys. There's so many guys that are in interracial relationships with Black women that because of their love of Black women, because of how much love they have for this Black woman that is nourishing and bringing her beautiful feminine essence to their home, to their lives, birthing their children, they have a strong affinity to Black women. And they're not saying if she don't wear weave, if she don't wear makeup, if she kiss my ass. They're saying Black women are women that deserve protection. They need protection. And dag nabbit, I'm going to give it to them. Right? Thank you, Viero. Appreciate you. I only know one Black man who has a white woman partner who's not racist. I'm not even trying to shade, but Black men do not care about racism from their white women and non-Black women partners. Doesn't have a face to them. It's real. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. The reason why, I don't care who's triggered by it. That's the fucking truth. Because as much as they want to pretend that that how children are raised changes because they're a part of the equation, it does not. The woman carries the culture. All right, I live in a predominantly white and Asian gated community. The Asian people that live in this community, the women wear their cultural, their ethnic, traditional garb, right? And the men wear suits because they understand that they're in America and they have to compete with American men on an American scale. Anybody from the West will tell you, America is a very competitive place. A lot of countries aren't run like that. There's a lot of countries you can go to and you can just feel like, hey, I'm living. Not every day I have to work, grind, and put up with something to pay this rent or else I'm going to be homeless. And a lot of other places in the world, that's not, even though they work hard, that's not the mentality there. So America is a very competitive place. It's one of the top world powers. It is a melting pot. It is diverse. Other men that come here that are non-white understand that. And their women wear the traditional garb of their culture because they're raising the children. The men wear business suits. They dress up like the men that they're working with. They're not sagging pants and bussy out talking about why am I experiencing racism? You have to be accountable as a man at some point. You have to be accountable. I find it very bizarre. I have to deal with racism all the time. I just told you guys about that nail incident. Did you hear me ask why it happened? Look, the bottom line is I shouldn't have been there in the motherfucking first place. That's the reality because I already know how these people get down. I'm not sitting here being like, but why? Why? I know damn well why. I know damn well what's going on here. And if you're a man and you don't understand what's going on here, and you're still asking why when it comes to racism, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. They don't want to build their own. The truth is, they'll sell out the entire community when they get power. That's why Black people can't in-build. We can't practice group economics the way that we should. We can't practice boycotting large corporations. Because don't y'all know how it works? They will go right over to that politician, to that Black leader, and say, here's $10 million for you to stop talking about this. They do it every day. Al Sharpton riding in private jets now. They do it every day. Black people have no advocates. As soon as someone starts advocating for you, a corporation, some entity is going to go over to them and say, I'll give you $5 million to shut the hell up. Talk about something else. Talk about it like this. Word it like that. So that sounds like you're empowering them, but you're really not. You're working for me. Oh, okay, bet. Next thing you know what? We don't need to boycott because it is hard. It is hard to boycott. When everything you need in this life, there's a Black woman business out there that makes it. There's a Black woman business out there that makes it. And we need the Black-owned businesses to come through for Black people as well. Not every entrepreneur should be having a business. I'm sorry. A lot of y'all need to earn your MBA first. Okay, put it that way. Sorry. Melissa says, I'm just saying that, guys, because he treated me well, but it made him cool, and his family were covert racist. Not trying to be negative, just look out for that. Melinda Sadler, you have every right to share that on this channel. See, we don't do that. We don't do that lying-ish that a lot of other people do because they think that's the only way that they'll get people to listen, blah, 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 blah. I've been real about this from day one. The racism that you're going to experience. Divestment hurts. My divestment hurts videos, okay? I've been and the truth is, if you end up if you date a non-Black guy and it ends up being this thing where he's using you for one reason or another, that's not a part of divestment. Part of divestment is you leaving that relationship and understanding I've got to do better when it comes to who I choose. And props to you for leaving that situation, right? Because a lot of women will get on here kissing the Dusty Fear's butt, talking about I was with a white guy, but his family was racist, so now I hate them. It's like, bitch, you need to discern better, right? That's a bit wishy-washy. All men, you have to discern, and you have to be realistic as a Black woman about what you're up against. In the community, it's colorism, it's classism. In the real world, it's racism and classism. And to ignore that and pretend like there's somewhere you can go and you can jump and everything's going to be different, then somebody's trying to play you to tell you that. They're trying to play you. So you're absolutely welcome to share that experience here, Melinda Sadler, because these are the type of conversations that we have here. The hard conversations, the real conversations. Okay, period. Correct protective fathers, back when I was growing up, a sad an exception. Majority of the time, Black men being present meant more danger. Right. That's why I say present participating fathers, because there were fathers present and it didn't help when they were there. Absolutely. That's a distinction that we need to understand, because that's an experience that, oh, you're not on code because I'm not on code because I'm addressing an experience that other women have had. Look, some Black women have grown up in the suburbs. Their fathers protected them. A lot of Black women, when their daddy was around, it was hell. It was hell. He was on drugs. He was an alcoholic. He didn't contribute to the family. He was a predator because he was an abuser, because he felt he had no power and taking care of his family wasn't his priority. That happens. And we got to be honest about that. You can't shut down Black women's experiences because of your precious, fragile ego. We don't do that here. I observed that nonsense in both college and high school. Yep, that's exactly how they act. Okay. Sun goddess Ari, my PWI ain't one. It ain't W enough. Wow. Oh Lord. Sis, I leave YouTube for 1 week and BWA divestment blows up. Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. Tay Love says, Percy is capping. I've seen him supporting Black Manosphere content. He is a whole flip-flopper. Oh my gosh. Wow. Really, Purse? Really, Purse? Oh, Lord. She said, Percy gets on my nerves. Well, see, why did you do that, Percy? Why did you flip-flop? You used to be hardcore hip-hop. Now look at yourself. Boy, you done flip-flop. Why would you flip-flop? You gotta be true to who you are. I'm gonna be honest, Percy. I appreciate anyone that supports the channel. But if you're triggered by the content and you just really genuinely don't like it, you know what I'm saying? Then you gotta go where you gotta go, and you gotta do what's best for you. Right? I was hoping that you were here to learn, to listen and learn. So, because that's what we need more of. Men that are willing to listen and learn. Okay, so let me get to Joe's next video. Okay? And this video, Joe is sharing just how he feels about Black women, just his love of Black women, right? And again, everyone should be respectful. Joe gave us his time on the platform, and that should be respected. But again, I'm gonna preface, it's not fetishism because somebody loves the women that he's chosen to surround himself with most of his life. It's what he's gravitated to. And if you have common sense, would you not gravitate towards, would you not? I have so many white guy friends growing up, so many, because you end up having a lot in common. And then what happens is, as men get older, if they can't get sexual access to you, you curving them left and right, because the truth is, a guy's only going to be nice to you if he thinks he can get something from you. That's what I'm telling you right now. I do not encourage male friendships. If you're friends with a guy, make sure you're getting something out of it too. I'm going to tell you that, because he's getting something out of it, and he believes that you're going to sleep with him. And if and when you don't, he's going to go left and or dissolve that friendship. They do it every time. Anyways, I was friends with a lot of white guys in the PWIs that I was with. I'd be friends more with white guys than I would white girls, right? Until it started time where people, and then it was like, oh, it's time for everyone to start dating, right? And as they get older, the racism picks up. It just does. That's what I'm telling you. There are Black women on here who have not been around white people with money telling y'all that you can go hang out with white people and you're not going to experience racism. And that is ridiculous. Okay, so this is one person. And like I said, I've heard a plethora of guys say what Joe is saying. I've heard a plethora of guys saying what Joe is saying. Black women that are in interracial relationships are telling me this is how their husbands feel. Okay? But again, you will have Dustianas who will come on and say, oh, that's fetishism. Like, oh, why do you want to be around Black women? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? I don't want to hear that shit on my channel. Fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Why wouldn't he? Come on. Do the math. Oh Lord. What person got to say? I don't support any channel that talks down to women. Every Black male content creator don't hate Black women. I love Black women, and I don't know any other way. God. All right, Percy. I can only go by what you're telling me. I don't know. I haven't seen you doing whatever, so I can only go by what you're telling me, and I can only appreciate you for the super chat. Amen. Amen. So thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's get into thank you. Are you listening to Call Me Coco? Thumbs up the video and subscribe, please. Let's get into this next video where Joe talks about how much he appreciates Black women, which is, again, something that you would expect to hear from your own men. And I don't know, it doesn't hurt them to say this. It doesn't hurt them to say, we love Black women, we appreciate Black women, the fucking end. But they won't do it. Right? So let's take a listen to what Joe has to say about his appreciation of Black women.
I can't even express how much I love Black women. You know, and Brent made a comment last night. He's like, you know, nothing could keep me from my Black woman, and I feel the exact same way. There is nothing that would keep me from to keep me from, you know, Black women. I live for Black women. I really do. And it's funny, I've told my girlfriend this story, but like when I go places where there are no Black women, and tell me if you feel the same way, if, you know, you're a white man or whatever and you like Black women. I went to San Antonio for like 4 days, and I saw one Black woman, and that was on the last day. But the whole time I was in San Antonio, I didn't see any Black women, none. And I got so depressed because I was like so far away from Black women in my mind. And when I lived in West Texas, in Midland and Odessa, working in the oil field, there was like never any Black women out there. I didn't see any for months. And it like physically, mentally did something to me. I felt so sad and drained. I felt like, I don't even know. It's so weird to say that, but, you know, just to not be around them and not see them every day, it will affect you. I don't know how to explain that, but, you know, it's depressing. You know, Black women just give off great vibes. And, you know, Brent knows what I'm talking about. You know, you know, men like us, we can't go without being around Black women. It's just, this is the way God made us. And I'm proud to say it. If I could, you know, and that's why I use my platform to tell people. And I hope that, you know, someday my channel grows even bigger. And, you know, I would love to just keep telling the world how much they mean to me. You know, it's just great. You know, it's funny because I didn't even plan on having this live stream go that route, but that's just the way it's gone this morning. You know, I think last night it just, like I said, it lit a spark in me where I don't know, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm excited to have a Black girlfriend. I'm excited to, you know, be on YouTube talking to Black women. It's great. I love it. You know?
Okay, so, you know, again, there are Dustianas and Pygmishas that would say, oh, that's him fetishizing you. How? What did he, like, he didn't talk about anything sexual. He didn't talk about anything sexual. He's saying what your men should always be saying, because if Black men were saying this, then other men would say, oh, you know what? These are women that are cared about. These are women that are protected by their men. And then you wouldn't see so much danger coming from all sides at Black women, right? Because that's how it works. And I don't know for the life of me. I don't know why Black men don't talk like this and don't feel this way about their own women. Because you still have a bunch of videos of Black women to this day. Black men, I love you. 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 They get it all the time. You never see Black men doing it unless they're doing some weird spoken word-ish. Or they're like, Black women, We started in Kimmy, coming together as Black people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you trying to get your spoken word out. You don't care about Black women. Joe has said, hey, you don't sit and watch when a Black woman is being harmed. You get your ass up and you do something as a man. It's time for us to start saying these women's names. It's time for us to start showing their faces. It's time for us to start speaking out. You're not going to see the women, the non-Black women that these Dusties date and bring into our communities. They bring into our proximity. Because usually when a Black woman dates a non-Black guy, they go over to his community. These males will bring these women over into our community, put them at the head of the table. The woman's a whole damn racist. She ain't talking about protecting her own goddamn children. She feels very entitled to them. I've told you guys a story before. There was a white woman that I was friends with on Facebook. I went to school with her, okay? And she married a Black guy. I don't know if they're still together or not. They had biracial children. And she kept going on. This was before Trayvon, okay? She kept coming on Facebook and saying, look at my daughter's crazy hair. She was a blonde hair, blue-eyed woman. She would come on and say, look at my daughter's crazy hair. Oh my gosh, her hair is so crazy. I don't know what to do with it. So I found a channel. I didn't go looking for it. It was something that was popular at the time. I think it was called like Vanilla Hands, Black Hair. I mean, they really don't care. This woman had a channel called like Vanilla Hands, Black Hair, where she does her adopted Black daughter's hair. And she figured out how to do her hair pretty damn well, you know. I would say she does it typically how Black women style their daughter's hair. Okay, typically. So she figured it out, unlike most non-Black women with Black and or biracial daughters, right? I send this woman's info to the Karen that I was associated with on Facebook at the time. And I said, hey, this woman's got a really great channel if you ever want to check it out. That's all I said. She unfriended me. You know, and then they'll say things like, I don't know why Black women think that they can tell us how to do our kids' hair. Because your kids are coming over to us crying, talking about, I need somebody to do my hair. That's literally how it goes. They're afraid to have a conversation with you because they think that you're racist. What are you doing to these motherfucking kids? You know, and then it's the code is they only like Black women that will exclusively be with Black men. But Black men can date, mate, and procreate with non-Black women, and that's not a problem. That's part of the code as well, right? That's not a problem in the Black community. No one has a problem with that. No one. Because that's how they get their precious proximity to biracials. That's the only way they want it. They don't want it from the union of a Black woman and a non-Black man. They want it. The Black community wants proximity to whiteness, proximity to biracials through Black male and Bekisha unions. Ramo KC says, nothing can keep me from Black women. All right. I like your enthusiasm. Okay. Can we get enthusiastic about it? Okay. Let's get enthusiastic about protecting Black women. I don't see nothing wrong with a little enthusiasm about it. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, what are you getting? Enthusiasm about hating you. Enthusiasm about keeping you at the bottom. Enthusiasm about you always having to see the next woman being told she's beautiful in your community, in your home, that you ain't shit. That's why I said start switching your mind frame. And that doesn't mean that you have to kiss somebody's ass because they say, I like Black women. Like I said, when people tell me all the time they like Black women. I think that's great. I love the enthusiasm. Keep it up. That's, you know what I'm saying? Period. Period. That's how it should be. Okay? Joe John says, that's so cute. We are like the cure for depression. I'm telling you. Look how happy Joe looks right now. Joe is thrilled by Black women. Absolutely thrilled. And what I'm telling you is that should be normal for you. It shouldn't be normal that you're around some guy calling you a black and mild. That shouldn't be normal to you. Or you're around some guy that'll take your wig off when you're out to dinner so he can make a TikTok. And he thinks that's funny. That shouldn't be normal to you. A man that's excited to be around you. Y'all got to start normalizing things that, increase your self-esteem. Start normalizing things that make you feel good. Because right now, what are we normalizing? There's so many videos on here of black guys with non-black women, and the black woman's clapping in his face, calling him the N-word, nigga this, nigga that, all up in his face, or long claws, all up in his face. They love it. There's not one complaint from black folk on those videos. But they'll stumble across a video like this, and all of a sudden they have a problem. I haven't said anything negative. I haven't said anything untrue. So what's the problem? Oh, because you're not living it right. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. So now you're triggered in your feelings. Oh, well, because the truth will be told. The truth shall be told, okay? He truly loves black women and cares about them. Exactly. And I think it's great to know that there's at least one guy out there that if he saw you and you were in need of help, black woman, he would help you. Now, yes, I have seen a handful of videos of black men helping black women, but how many dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of videos have we seen of the opposite, of them harming black women? So go ahead, guys, prove me wrong. Go on out there and start making videos of you helping black women. I remember I was walking down the street with a black male actor. Okay, we were doing a show. And we were going to get lunch. And we walked past this beautiful young black lady. And he was single. And I said, hey, like, I think as we walked past her, he was like, oh, like she's got a fly coat or something. I was like, she's beautiful. Go back and tell her she's beautiful. Like, you just like walk past her, and I've seen you flirt with non-black women all the time, bruh. Go back and tell that black woman that she's beautiful. So that's what he did. He ran back and told her she was beautiful, but he didn't ask for her number or anything. And he went right back to hitting on non-black women that don't see him as a preference. They don't understand that they're not their preference. They don't understand that part. Tragic. You're embarrassing yourself. Cut it out. I get it. I'm not being catty when I say seeing too many black. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Right? Yeah. Yeah, you got to know where you're going. You got to watch where you go sometimes, I absolutely loved Miami because I thought it was a really great balance of diversity. I really did. Of course, we stayed, where our hotel was a predominantly white area, but, you go to a lot of places to eat and stuff, and it's very diverse. And I didn't mind that at all. But what did end up happening? I have to be honest. A disgruntled black man, a disgruntled, homeless-looking black man was coming over to the tables when we were eating in Miami, asking people for money. And he went up to a group of white people that included another black man. And what does he do? He starts picking at the other black guy, trying to start a fight with him. He ain't had no smoke for those white folk. He's like, what you say? What you say about me? Right? Going crazy. Going absolutely crazy. The way that mentally ill, homeless, you see these mentally ill homeless guys doing on video all the time. He was doing this like right when we were in Miami, you know. And of course, you know, the YT people there were like, oh my God, you know. And when he left, the black guy that was at the table with his white guy friends, they just all laughed at him. They just all laughed at him. He didn't give him no money and say, here you go, brother. That didn't happen. So what you mad at me for? What you bothering me for? What you mad at me for? Okay. Joe John says, the last time I seen a black man be exclusively polite to black women was that one LeBron tweet. Damn. I don't even know what it was, but it was in a tweet. It was in a tweet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, goodness. There we go. What's wrong with him saying, I enjoy being around black women? I think black women are great. I think they deserve protection. What the hell is wrong with that? But you want to date out and date well, but you're not used to receiving compliments. You got to start there, because other men are going to talk to you the way, you know, my husband is very lovey-dovey. You know, sometimes it overwhelms me because I'm not used to it. You know, it's like, I'm like, I feel like I'm in a love cave. You know, I'm in a glass case of love emotions. You know, it's like it's coming from everywhere, you know. And, you know, I have to be honest. I tell my husband all the time, you got to make sure you're not love bombing me, because he's a hardworking man and he works a lot. And it's either like he's very intense about how he feels about me, or I never see him because he's always working. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, try to even that out, bruh. All right? You can take some notes too. Try to even that out for me, okay? So he's working on that. But if you can't handle a man showing you affection, I've seen so many black women ruin their opportunities at dating a good guy. Black, white, POC, doesn't matter. They will ruin their opportunity to be with a guy that loves them because they're like, oh, he whack. He doing too much. He like, what do you want? Some guy that's breaking your cell phone, it's going through your phone and breaking it, yelling at you in your face, telling you you ain't this, you ain't that, calling you a B, calling you bro. I'm not playing with you, bro. No, bro. Like, oh, if you don't stop calling me bro. The hell? That's what you want? That's dysfunctional. At what point do you say, because I'm from the hood. I'm from the harder hood. I'm from a harder hood than most people who claim to be from the hood. I'm sorry, but it just is what it is. So you don't get the excuse of saying I'm from the hood and that's how we talk. When are you going to set the right example for these kids? That's not how you talk to your woman. That's not how you allow a man to talk to you. So you rather your kids see that dysfunction than for you to have a man around you that's uplifting you, that not only wants to see you rest in your femininity, but wants to aid in you resting in your femininity. Amen? Come on now. Okay? Come on now. Rob OKC says, because white women are biased, and a lot I know envy you, black women, and I know y'all have beautiful, attractive, sexy bodies and an extra hint of femininity. Okay. Well, you see, when I've told you guys this, there are men that, to them, they're like, black women are the most feminine women on the planet. A lot of non-black men that date interracially black women feel that way, right? They really do. They're like, from my experience, I mean, this woman, my husband loves my cooking. He ain't going no place. Okay, and that's just the cooking. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So they feel like, wow, like you're so, like, I remember me and my husband got together. I've told you guys before. He'll be like, why are you making my plate first? And I'm like, it's just a habit. Like, dude, I'm not even doing it on some, because my man, like, it's just a habit. This is what I've done my whole life. I make food and I serve other people first, you know, and you're my husband. So, I mean, that's why I do it. And he was just so uncomfortable by it. He was uncomfortable with me doing all of the chores, right? He was like, why do you do, like, you shouldn't have to do all of the chores. I'm like, you have a very demanding job. You're the breadwinner of this house. And I was raised to be this way. I would clean like this, whether you were around or not. But certainly I'm going to do it as a wife, you know, and he's just not used to it. It's not how he was raised, right? He wasn't raised like that. He was raised with, you know, Becky will do what she want. Either way, you're going to protect her and you're going to pay for those bills, you know? And I know I could be in my situation and be doing that. Because that's how my husband was raised. That's the dynamic. But like I told him, I'll be damned. No, I'm gonna have a functional, traditional home for you and me and our future children. I'm not gonna not do something just because I can. You don't not go to work just because you could. That's not fair. I don't think it's fair for a man to go out and work all day the way my husband does. My husband works all day. He leaves the car with me so that I can have the car and go wherever I want, do whatever I want. And you have to keep in mind, we're in the tri-state area. This is the most expensive place to live in the country. This is one of the most expensive places to live. Certainly overpriced. I'm not bragging about it. It's hella overpriced. My husband works hard, and he was told, you know, you might get a woman that'll do traditional things for you, but either way, you better protect her because that's what we do here. You better protect her and you better pay for her bills. And the fact that he got a woman who happily is traditional. You see, y'all can come over here, y'all can do all that pretending like, oh, only Pygmalion sphere women are traditional. That's not true. It's not true. Black women, empowerment women, we are traditional women. We are looking for relationships where we can fill those traditional feminine roles. But the man has to play his part as well. Has to. That's all. Joe John says, I remember when I was in pre-K and one of the teachers, not even my own, did my hair. And sometimes when the other kids were at recess, my mom was at school in another city and my dad worked all the time. Exactly. But I mean, I've done it. I've nannied for a long time. I've worked in schools for a long time. Whenever there's a little black girl, biracial girl that needs her hair done, here we are. And then you'll see these women being like, who do black women think they are, always telling me what to do with my daughter's hair? Again, because your daughter came to us and or she's going to come over to us. And she's going to complain about how you didn't help her with her motherfucking hair. Instead of listening, these men don't tell these non-black women that they get with, they don't say, hey, the women in my community have a lot to offer. I would appreciate you show them respect and listen to them, and you will obviously receive the same. They don't do that. What do they do with these non-black women that they bring over? They pit them against black women, just like they pit black women and light-skinned women against each other, just like they pit black women and biracial women against each other. They bring in these non-black women and they pit them against each other. Because while you hoes, okay, that's, you know, how they look at it, not me, obviously, right? Whilst you hoes are busy fighting, no one's pointing out how unaccountable I am. No one's pointing out that I play video games all day when I should be taking care of my responsibilities. And the time for playing video games, unless you make money doing so, is over. No one's going to point that out because they hate each other so fucking much. These guys are narcissists. This is what they do. This is what they do every time. That guy always says he's in love with black women, right? Right. You know, and Joe's got a girlfriend, and I'm sure he treats her very well. He was married to the mother of his child. He said it didn't work. Some people were like, oh, why didn't it work with the mother of his child? Look, at the end of the day, this is a man going on 30 who was with the mother of his child since he was a teenager. Those relationships don't tend to last. Some of them do, yes, but statistically, okay, because that's what we do things regarding. Here, over here, statistically, relationships, marriages that are started in your teen years don't last as long as marriages that are started in your later years, okay? Because you learn and you grow, and people are different. And go ahead and check out that interview I did with Joe on my channel. It's the previous video on here. How do you like your cup of Joe? Okay, go ahead and check that video out, and you can see more of what he has to say about that and his relationship and whatnot. But you know, a lot of white guys that are on here in interracial relationships have the channel with their woman, right? So they're harder to get an interview with because they have their woman. All right. I'm lucky enough that Joe doesn't have the channel yet with just like it's not a couple relationship channel. It's Joe's channel. So I was lucky enough to get that interview. But again, it's not as easy when they have a couple channel, but I am also trying to bring on people with couple channels to interview. Okay, so I'm also trying to do that as well, so we can get more perspectives, more real life perspectives from people who are transparent about who they are and that can tell you about these relationships. Okay, how they really are. No cap. You know what I'm saying? So Skyfall Deadpool says, I once got a flat tire in the middle of nowhere. My husband, white, was hours away. A random white biker stopped and changed my tire. My little girl was in the car crying. She was only 5 months old. Aww. You see, like, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, why shouldn't we expect that? You know what I'm saying? And then again, they're having this conversation like, we're not going to protect you because you didn't say that we were all amazing. So we're not going to protect you. Why should I protect you if you're not saying we all amazing and deserve everything for nothing? I'm like, okay, well, statistically, here's how it works. Okay. People protect people in their immediate families. They protect people in their immediate families with the political power that they have, with the societal power that they have. If you don't have any of that, that's a level of protection you're not offering because you don't have it. Financial power. Okay? You think these black guys that date out, you think they're going to leave the suburbs if something happened? Something happened here in America and everybody's got to protect their families, their communities. You think these high-profile dusties that date out, you think they're going to come to the hood to protect black women? They're not. And these dudes would let the women and children be vulnerable to attack to prove a point. To be like, see, you should have kissed my ass. And everyone's going down. The house is burning. Everyone's inside, including him. And he's in there with some stupid, goofy look on his face. Be like, if only you kissed my behind the whole time, then maybe you would have had that protection. Sizzles away. They're willing to do that. Okay, but most men are going to protect their family. They can protect their home. They can protect their communities. If you are divested and you're in a relationship, I understand that there are black women in relationships with black guys and they live in the suburbs. There's a black family in my gated community. One. A black couple my age with their children. So I understand that happens too. Again, that black guy is going to protect his wife, his community, meaning me as well. In my interracial relationship, he's going to protect me as well because I'm here. He's protecting this community. So people protect the communities that they're in and their families. And if you won't do that when it comes to protecting, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. You will literally be on the negative receiving end, being a know-it-all, being like, I told you I wasn't going to protect y'all, and you're going to get wiped out too. And see, like I said, they don't care if everybody goes down. Crabs in the barrel. Oh, crabs in the barrel, crabs in the bucket. Shoot. What's up, yours truly, Miss Anita? Good to see you. It's good to see you here. You guys, I'm going to be on yours truly, Miss Anita's channel this Thursday at 8 p.m., I do believe. So definitely check that out. Ms. Anita, she's interviewing me for a change. Okay. I've had a few interviews in my my time here on YouTube, but there's an interview I did with another channel that hasn't come out yet. But yeah, if you guys want to know more about me or whatever, you can join my Patreon, or you can come on over to yours truly, Ms. Anita's channel Thursday, and I'll be talking a little bit more about me. Shout out to my top tier steelies over on Patreon as well. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. You guys rock. Skyfall says, he stopped on the highway and changed tire from me, expecting nothing from me. I wanted to do something for him, pay his gas, buy him a drink at the gas station. He refused. May God bless him. Okay. Good men. Good men. You know, and I, while I have had some negative experiences, I have to say, generally, my personal experiences living in the suburbs has been of men being fairly helpful. You know, you need something on a shelf, you can't reach it, the guy will happily reach for it for you. You know, I had a guy do it for me the other day. And my husband was right there. It was like another white guy, you know, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, we're reaching for the same thing." And he like gave me the product, you know, and I was like, my husband was right there. I mean, that's how nice it, you know, men can be. And I didn't offer to buy him anything or anything like that. It wasn't dangerous what he was doing, so I just said thank you. You know, those are the type of things that when you accept help, and you have to vet people even when they're offering you help. It's a dangerous world. It just is what it is. You have to vet people. But still, right? Let someone reach for something you can't get and give it to you, and say thank you, and let that fill you. Let that be a part of who you are, instead of having a part of who you are be what these dusties have been telling you are. I don't listen to a fucking word they say. That's why it's so funny when dusties come on my channel trying to troll. I'm like, I don't respect you, so what you say doesn't matter. I have no respect for you. You have no power. I have no respect for you. I promise what you say doesn't matter at all. So you better switch it up and try giving, you know, some love and support, because maybe you'll get some power that way. Start doing things right. You're not, this isn't working for y'all. These pygmishas coddling y'all and this behavior is sad because it's not working for y'all. You're not getting that respect from other men doing this. It's not a good business move. It's not a good societal move. Again, this is a Western civilized society. If you want to be in a place where the men have the power and the governments are corrupt and downtrodden, you can go over there and compete with those guys. Try to live in their society, see if they accept you. But you don't get to try to enforce backwards, dysfunctional thinking and mentality here in the West, in this civilized nation that we've all worked so hard to contribute to. I'll be damned. DanieSteel for president 2045, maybe 46, whatever year. Okay, DanieSteel for president. DanieSteel for president. First Black woman president. Okay? I want the White House for 8 years. Okay? Period. I love the title. Protect. Exactly. Absolutely. Proverbs 19:14, houses and riches come from fathers. A prudent wife comes from the Lord. Oh, that's for all the Christians out there. Okay. Okay. Look at a man using Bible verses, not just to try to put you in your place, right? Because the Bible said the head and the neck. Well, what's the verse? What's the verse? See, I'm the head and you the neck. Wait, the head and neck, it gotta go. They can't tell you what book and what verse, but they know all about the head and the neck, right? The Bible says, oh Lord. Now listen to somebody that knows actual Bible verses, studies the Bible. Amen. All right, thank you for sharing that with us, Rob OKC. Black Widow Rose says, I got drunk at a party and a white man drove behind me and followed me home for safety. The sweetest, didn't have to have sex with him or anything. Y'all, don't you know that's not how I met my husband? But what happened was I knew him from undergrad, and then we both went to different grad schools. We didn't see each other for a few years. And then I was like, I'm in town if you want to like just catch up. And just really on some like friendship, because he was, a friend and acquaintance, and we had been talking a little bit on Facebook more. So I was like, oh, if you want to catch up, I'm in town. He was like, okay. Can you imagine if he wasn't available? I can't imagine what my life would even be like. But yeah, he was like, okay. So anyways, we went out and I was a lightweight back then. So I had like 2 glasses of wine and I was like, woohoo. And I was supposed to stay with a friend that night. She's no longer friends because she was jealous that my husband made more money than hers. Quiet as it's kept. That's what they do. Why should I lie about it? That's what she did. She chose to move like that. So I'm gonna put that out there. She was jealous that my husband made more money than hers, and she was many years older than me. Okay, boo. Like we all make choices. Okay. So, anyways, she thought she was going to be some savior to me, and I ended up saving her from a few things. So she didn't like that change in dynamics. Okay, goodbye, white savior. You're not going to be a white savior over here. So anyways, so my husband's going to drop me off at this woman's house, but I forgot where she lived. Like I only knew what it looked like, and I didn't want to call her because it was really late. So I was like, I'm not going to call her. It's really late. I don't know what to do. I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, because it was so late. It was like 2 a.m. I was like, I'm not calling her. Like, this is ridiculous. And he was like, well, like I'm staying with my parents right now because we were home on like winter break, right? So he's like, well, I'm staying with my parents right now, but you can come over. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like so embarrassed. I'm like, okay, thank you. And we had a great night. And I could tell he was into me, but I was like, whatever. Okay. Plenty of guys was into me, okay? And I thought he was a nice guy, and I was like, wow, this has been a really nice time, Didn't think much of it. We go back to his place, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he'll want to, like, make out or something, even though we're like, at his parents' place. I wasn't like, let's get it bumping, grinding, but I was like, he didn't try anything. He escorted me to his room. And he was like, you can sleep in my room and I'll sleep on the couch. Good night. And boom, shut the door. I was like, wow, the discipline. The discipline. That's crazy. I could barely sleep because I just couldn't get over that. And the next morning we talked and talked and talked, and the rest is history. Right? But that is one of the first signs that you actually have a good guy, is when he isn't. And one of the first signs that you don't have a good guy is when they pressure you for sex. That's an immediate red flag. Like, dude, you just met me. You should not be pressuring me for sex. Okay? Here I was ready for a little cute, keep it cute makeout session. And my husband was like, nope, you can sleep in my bed. I'll sleep on the couch. Have a good night. That's a good man. Okay. That's a good man. Ms. Irvin says, yep, anytime I've had a flat, it has always been a white man who has stopped and helped in suits and everything. Right. Okay. Be out there, his white shirt getting the car grease getting all over him, rolling up the sleeves. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Yes, diversity. I'm from California. The black women I know who interracially date are with Mexican, Indian, Asian, and white. They're all treated well because it is about the culture. Exactly. What does he look like not treating his woman right? It don't look right in any culture but the black culture. I've only seen them be nice to black women, to be kind to black women, to be loving to black women. If the black woman is a Tammy or Tool, is ready to kiss their behind, let them get away with anything, never hold them accountable. If you guys heard my clips from Joe was saying, look, if as a man, you tell another man what you're doing is wrong. They don't have that mentality. They don't have that mentality. You know what they tell other men that they're wrong about? Taking care of black women. If they see another black man taking care of a black woman, what do they call them? Simps. Simps. They don't like Russell Wilson. They don't put him on a pedestal for taking care of his children, for being a great stepdad. No. That is dysfunctional as hell. That's fucking dysfunctional. Y'all gonna pretend like that shit is not dysfunctional? I'm not gonna pretend like it's not dysfunctional. I'm not participating in that. We need to make this world a better place for black children. By any means. They don't want to hold each other accountable. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. And again, you see a lot of societies where men don't hold other men accountable. And those societies are torn to bits. And women are treated horribly in those societies. And it's just the way the men love it. That's what these men want for you here in America. My ancestors didn't endure all they endured through chattel slavery, through Jim Crow, redlining, discrimination, constant discrimination. My ancestors didn't endure all that, so you could try to put these downtrodden, dysfunctional, backwards societal expectations on black women. No, they didn't. So something has happened to these guys where they've really lost their marbles. And any woman that supports that, I don't like. Yeah, they are. I saw, me and my husband saw like a nerdy black girl and nerdy white guy in the grocery store the other day. And, we rarely see other interracial couples. If you do, it's typically black men and a non-black woman because that's the majority of interracial relationships in America. I'm going to keep saying that because that is a statistical fact that the community wants to ignore so that they can continue to throw black women under the bus. And you're not going to do it. Black men have set the example through generations and decades. I'm not even going to say decades, generations. The Moors were doing it. So come on, okay? They do it across the diaspora. So come on. Skin bleaching is a big problem throughout the diaspora. Because these guys, I saw one documentary about skin bleaching. An African woman said, you can't get a man here unless you skin bleach. I couldn't believe it. And these are majority black countries. However they feel about their place in society, the projection that has had on the community at large has been detrimental. It has not helped. And it doesn't look like they're willing to change that. So you're going to have to do the work. Because I really felt like my family of origin felt like I was supposed to be on that shit. I'm like, you see how I'm moving and what I talk about? Why would I be on that shit? Why would I be on that shit? Why would I put a man before me? Are you putting me before you? Like, sure, I'll put you before me. You put me before you. So that adds up, so that we have some reciprocity there. No, I'm just supposed to be putting you before me. You ain't my husband. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You ain't did shit for me. I'm supposed to put you before me. Fuck out of here. It's not working. Please thumbs up the video and subscribe if you're in the room. Stop lurking in the bushes. I have an awesome channel. I have an amazing channel. You might be in your feelings about some of what I'm saying right now, but you will like other stuff. So go ahead, stop lurking in the bushes, thumbs up the video, and subscribe. Okay, period. Yes, very affectionate. And sometimes that can be a lot when, again, you grew up the way I grew up, receiving little to no affection. It can be a lot to handle. But what I'm telling you is, I think that you're worth it. I think that you deserve to have affection be poured upon you and to see what that's like. And to let that inform who you are instead of letting what Dusties want inform who you are. That's what I'm telling you right now. When we talked about that Danie Newton stuff, and then I had like some light-skinned women coming on here and be like, well, y'all are jealous. And I'm like, who are you talking to? I never been jealous of y'all. Never. I never have. I have a lot of light-skinned family members, and I spend a lot of my time protecting them. I saw a lot how the Black community would pedestalize lighter-skinned women and or, be mad at them because they're not giving them what they want. I've seen that. I've seen those dynamics. But I've never been jealous. Okay? I've never been jealous. I've never desired to be the preference of dust. And again, when I talk about preferences of dust, that's why I say preferences of dust. Because you have to understand, you don't have something that other women would be jealous of. I've had a lot of white girlfriends say to me, oh my gosh, I hate that just because I'm curvy, Black guys hit on me. I'm telling you, this is what they've said. They'd be like, oh my God, why do they hit on me just because I'm curvy? They think that I want to date them. And I was like, damn, it's all that? Because I'm like, why is you coming to me telling me this? I wasn't like, ha. But the reality is, y'all talking about some being the most desired and all that. Y'all don't have conversations with most non-Black women, okay? You have the conversation with the ones willing to suck on your ashy eggplant. You don't have conversations with most non-Black women. Most non-Black women feel the way that I just said. They're like, I don't want them hitting on me. They don't want people to see y'all hitting on them. They have so many videos. I wish I could find it, but there was a video of a 16-year-old white girl and two very old Black guys were hitting on her. And she was like, leave me the hell alone. I'm 16. Get out of my face. And like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you did? And I'm like, oh my God, like how embarrassing. And there's people walking by, you don't see now one Black guy walk by and put those two men in their place and say, leave this girl alone. Be a man. Stop embarrassing yourself. Other groups of people do that to their men. That's why you don't see that crazy dysfunction. At that level, every group has crime. Every group has, yes, they do. But to constantly be caught on video hitting on underage girls and yelling and screaming at them when they don't agree, that's something that you see a lot in dusty communities, all right? Dusty spaces. So help each other out. I'm so ready for someone who is gentle with me. Exactly. Eternally evolving. Exactly. Okay. Family is big in these other cultures. And they don't have some idea that women should be in their place and should shut up and they're not good enough. And I wish I had me a different woman, not this black woman. Like they're not thinking that about their women in other cultures. They're not. Sharina says, I started exclusively dating non-black men on dating sites, and whoo, the difference. Okay. White women and non-black women cannot stand competition from other races of women. To be honest, I've seen white women lie on me because the white men they wanted liked me. It's that crazy. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They will get you fired. You know, they will when they are with these dusties, right? They'll dismantle the whole family. All of a sudden, and we see it all the time. All of a sudden, the black guy, he was with his family all the time, his family of origin. Now they're never together because he's got this new woman and she wants things her way. She don't want to be around black people. Remember that picture of Kendall when she went and visited whatever nigga she was laying up with? I think he was biracial, and she went and visited his black side of the family. And she just looked like, oh, I don't want to touch these people. They don't want to be there. They don't see y'all as a catch. They're using you. You're a lick. Just like Julia Fox said about Kanye. She was like, he was a lick to help me to get from point A to point B. That's it. Whether it's because they want mixed children, whether it's because they want cool points, whether it's because they want the elusive BBC, whether it's because they want to piss off their family, that's all y'all for. I've never seen it be for anything else. To be honest, black women are the most traditional women out of all races of women. So many of us deserve a true provider. My husband was providing for me before he even proposed. Facts, melanated Moki. Is it Moki or Mochi? Facts. My husband was the same way. You know, as we were dating, he was slowly and surely picking up more bills. It just is what it is because he saw the need. I didn't ask. That's what I'm talking about. They'd be like, y'all women ask for this, ask for that. If you gotta ask, you're not with the right guy. I never asked him for nothing. My husband gave me so much. I never asked him for anything because he was like, well, I have all of this. It doesn't make sense that you don't. That doesn't make sense that we're together and I have the latest technology and you don't. I have name brand boots and coats and phones and you don't. Like, you know, I'm walking around with my T-Mobile, but that was when T-Mobile wasn't cool. Okay, I think T-Mobile's getting cool again, but you know, absolutely right. Oh, Joe's in the chat. What's up, Joe? Okay. Appreciate you, Joe. Good to see you. Hey y'all, can I get a hey y'all? Hey y'all. Okay, very good to see you. Thanks for being here, Joe. Yes, white men are very affectionate and loving to the women that they love, right? So I'm not going to generalize and say all white men are affectionate and loving. I don't know all white men. I've interacted with white men that were not affectionate and loving with me. Let's get that clear. Okay, let's get that clear. But for the ones who are dating interracially, generally who are married interracially and or dating interracially and or have children with a black woman, those are the men, the white men that I've observed that are very affectionate and loving towards black women. And in general, you'll see that white men are comfortable with being affectionate with their woman. Whoever she is, white or black, they're comfortable being affectionate with her. Whereas black men are not comfortable being affectionate with black women. My husband and I were going on a date and, you know, we're walking in Manhattan and a black couple walks past us and I see the guy check me out. And you know, the sad thing is, I think his date saw him check me out too. And she said, "You look beautiful, sis." And I was like, "Thank you, so do you." You know, and didn't acknowledge that dusty at all. But it's like, why couldn't he have shown her love and affection and not be looking for the next? So disrespectful. My husband be having blinders on. I'm like, did you see this? Did you see that? He's like, no, I've been looking at you. I'm like, boy, if you don't get some situational awareness, I had to teach him what situational awareness was. He just was staring at me the whole time. I'm like, you can't just stare at me. Okay. Jesus. So guys already says, I want to have a YouTube channel with my bride in the future and do videos together. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do with my husband, but he works way too much and he wasn't able to. So it is what it is. So guys already says, you will most likely be treated better in the suburbs than in the hood. I mean, I think that's truth. There's a lot of discussions about what schools are better for Black kids, right? And I know I've talked to you guys about racism and classism that I experienced at PWIs. Okay? But when we're talking about these public schools in the hood, they are not better places for Black kids. They are not. Okay? They are over-policed, and then you have to deal with your child being literally criminalized. That is a criminalization process when you over-police Black schools and you have 5-6 police officers on every floor and a metal detector when you walk through. I couldn't believe what these schools were like when I started teaching at these schools in New York City. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you guys are criminalizing these kids. They're just kids. Why are they being criminalized? When I went to private Catholic school and PWIs, the kids I went to school, they weren't criminalized, and they would be talking about Columbine and all of that. We didn't have metal detectors. We weren't taught that there was something wrong with us every day that we went into school. And that's what they're teaching these kids. So let's be very clear. And that's the only thing they're teaching them. The kids don't have books in their book bags. In order to fail a student nowadays, you have to have like legal justification for wanting to fail the kid. They're not allowed to even fail kids anymore. They're supposed to just pass them along to the next grade, whether they are equipped to be in the next grade or not. These are the schools that they're giving to your children. These are the things that Black men and Black women that claim to be about Black love and Black people and Black blah, 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 blah. These are the things that they should be focusing on, but they never are. Instead, it's hair, weaves, and makeup and calling Black women B-wenches and who Black women are sleeping with if they're not sleeping with Black men. That's what they want to talk about. You never hear them talk about the kids. Never. Never. It's no problem, Miss Anita. No problem at all. Did it for President 20. Okay? Okay. 2044, we're going to figure it out. But it would be in the best interest of America. Okay? To make me the president. All right? So we'll get there when we get there. All right? Yes, my husband has really great character. I really appreciate that. Rob OKC says, we honest men, when we see women stranded, do not want anything in return. It's like fixing her broken wing so she can fly again. Oh, very nice, very nice. The only time a Black man would check another Black man for his treatment of women is if the Black man sees the other Black man treating her with respect. Dap it up for dysfunction. Exactly. He is sick. Let's talk about what this Black man is doing. And you're thinking, oh, they're going to call out Cosby. They're going to call out R. Kelly. They're going to call out these predators that are, following middle school girls to the library to assault them and prey on them and harass them. No, they want to call out Russell Wilson for being a stepdad, for marrying the mother of his children, for raising his children. Let's call out Russell Wilson. Like, you guys are dysfunctional as hell, man. Y'all are dysfunctional as hell. And nobody with a brain is going to even work with that. Nobody with a brain is going to work with that at all. That's why you're always by yourself in your dysfunction. You notice no other group. It's not like other groups people join in. They'll get all they'll get is non-Black women. That's the only other group that'll join them in the dysfunction. is non-black women that want to say the N-word. Congratulations, you got a girl that wants to say the N-word. Congratulations, you were a non-black woman. You're being called the N-word 24/7 by a non-black woman. Congratulations, you did it, bruh. They're the only ones that will join these guys in this dysfunction. Nobody else from outside of Blackistan would join them in this dysfunction. And then they get mad by the word Blackistan. But y'all created it. Blackistan. And listen to those words. What does that mean? Dysfunction. You don't want to live in a Western civilization. DanieSteel for president 2044. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to get going. Thank you, Ms. Anita. I appreciate you. White men have always asked me if I needed help with my luggage or shopping. Exactly. It's like, why? And I remember one time I saw a black guy struggling. This was the last time. I'm going to tell you guys a story about the last time I offered to help an able-bodied, of-age black male. Okay? It was probably 7 years ago. Okay? 7 years ago. That's not bad. Like, I mean, well, I think it's bad. Anyways, the dude was struggling with his cart, and it looked like it was going to tip over, and everything was going to fall out. And he was leaving the grocery store, and of course, he didn't use the ramp. He wanted to just take the cart, heavy cart, from the sidewalk to the parking lot, and so the cart is tipping over the curb. And I was like, can I help you with that? And he was like, no, that's all right. And he was there with some light skin, some preference, and they were like rolling their eyes at me because I was like talking to. So that's the last time you ever get able-bodied man get an offer of help from me. I swear to God, if I see you struggling with anything, I do not help able-bodied men. No. You good? But then they'll be like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. And somebody tries to help you, you sitting there looking at me like I wanted to be a third party of your little struggle dating group. I don't want you. I laughed and flipped my hair and kept it moving. Yes, I did. So, anyways, the point is, guys, right? There are men out there that want to protect black women, that feel the way that Joe feels about black women. They're out there. And you really gotta just keep your eyes out for those type of guys. Stop telling yourself that it's not right. It's weird for a man to like you or want to protect you or want to be nice to you. No, what's weird is the dysfunction of Blackistan. That's weird. That's not normal. And no other group does that. Okay? And you're not going to be able to level up if you don't change your ideal of normalcy. Blackistan dynamics are not normal in any sense. So if your base level of understanding of things is Blackistan, you're in trouble. A part of healing is undoing what you had to learn while you were in survival mode. A part of healing is unlearning the things you had to do in survival mode. That's why I talk so loud, okay? I learned it in survival mode, okay? And that's why sometimes I'll get the clapping and I'll get, cursing up a storm, and I have to remind myself, those were things I had to do in survival mode. I'm no longer that person, and being that way, having an attitude, cursing all the time, that no longer serves me in the spaces that I now wish and are able to move in. Amen? So keep that in mind. Black women, you are loved. There are men out there that love you and want to protect you and understand how important it is to protect you. It's not as many as it should be, but they're out there, and let's show our mutual support of that. Okay? Let's focus on that and focus less on what a Dusty can't provide. Okay? Amen? All right. So you guys have a good night. I'm going to go get dinner started, okay? Because hubby will be home any minute. So I'm going to go get dinner started and finish up this last episode of All of Us Are Dead. All right, we're on the final episode. It's a really good show. If you're interested, check it out on Netflix. All right, and I will see you guys very soon. Have a great night. Thank you for being here. Thumbs up the video and subscribe. Mwah!